I'm not sure what I'm doing here with this video. Videos I might do in this same vein. I thought, as a teacher, I get to go through a poem and like tear it apart, think about it, prep for it, and then present it to a bunch of students who might or might not be reading it for the first time. So that I would just go through and do some first readings. Nothing profound here, just whatever comes out as I read the piece. And I'm just going to randomly pick these. I went on the Poetry Foundation page, flip through, there's this thing for poets. I clicked on it and flipped through it and found Stephen Dunn. I've read some of his work. I don't know it really well. I have a friend who really likes Stephen Dunn's work, so I kind of always wanted to look into it. As what I remember, it's way more narrative than the work I do, so that's kind of interesting, I think, to see something completely different sometimes. I'll just go from there, so I'm just going to read it. I don't know if this makes any sense or it's in anything anybody else would want to watch, but I'll just walk through it. On the way to work. Life is a bitch and then you die. Bumper sticker. Yeah, that sounds like something we've seen before. I've hated bumper stickers, hated the notion of wanting to be known by one glib or earnest thing, I think. Just idealize, lots of us can connect with that. I hated bumper stickers, hated, I like the repetition here going on, the hated at the end of the line, and the breaking, hated the notion of wanting to be known by one glib or earnest thing. I like the weight in that third line, by one glib or earnest thing. You have the balancing of the line. Nice line break. But this time I sped up to see a woman in her 40s, cigarette. No way to tell how serious she was. I like this push towards speeding up. And at this point, I don't know whether the bumper sticker is the one that's from the beginning, life is a bitch and then you die, or if there's some other bumper sticker we're going to get. The woman in her 40s, cigarette. It describes the woman in her 40s here. It's like a positive for this phrase. It's kind of funny. Like she's boiled down to the cigarette if you read it this way. No way to tell how serious she was. Yeah, it's hard to do that sometimes with people. To what degree she felt the joke, or what she wanted from us who'd see it. Philosophers all. Everybody wants to be a philosopher on the roadway, but tell how serious she was, to what degree she felt the joke. Felt. I like the ending there. Felt the joke, or what she wanted from us. Felt. From. She was. She. Lots of nice sounds in here. You'd see it. Philosophers all. Everybody's become a philosopher on the interstate. This is our moment of listening to whatever we could. I think especially when this piece was around. Philosophy on cassette tape. If I had my own public answer, new hope for the dead. The only sticker I'd almost stuck. New hope for the dead. This is an odd play here. The first thing, life's a bitch and then you die, really kind of plays on the harshness of life. New hope for the dead. Or the dead, the drivers, is this like the dead? We're all the dead. This is Joyce's The Dead. New hope for the dead, the only sticker I almost stuck. I would have driven in front and slowed down. Wow, that's very like imaginatively confrontational, but not the way that somebody thinks one would do something but doesn't. Would have driven in front of her and slowed down. How could we not have become friends? The lines change here, smaller. We're the kind of enemies who must talk into the night. Become friends. How could we have not? This person thinks, right off the bat, they would have become enemies or friends. Talk into the night. It's like lovers. You have choices here, like enemies, love. It's all mixed together. Just one mistake away from love, yes. Enemies who talk in the night, just one mistake away from love. I wrote parallel to her. Glancing over. I like the parallel to her, kind of plays on the parallelness of the lines themselves, how they run parallel like this. New hope for the dead runs parallel with the other bumper sticker. Or him riding parallel to her in a car. It was different perceptions different versions of reality riding next to each other, or just like the dead riding next to each other in the ferry to hell. Not talking, just there. Glancing over as someone does on an airplane at someone's book, looking, right? Short, straight hair. I like the short line here. Plays with it, with the actual shortness here. No makeup. The face that had been a few places and only come back from some. I shouldn't laugh at that. I feel like I have that face sometimes. Face has been so to a few places and only come back from some. There's a moment of insight there. And that's, I feel like, writing parallel here. It's looking into his own face at that point as well. At the stoplight, I smiled at her, then made my turn towards the half-life of work. I feel like this half-life of work idea has been played with all throughout this poem in a weird way. Driving to work, you're seeing bumper stickers that, single phrases that are supposed to sum up who the person is, but don't, of course. They're like half of a philosophical thought, not explained. Half of a life experience, half of an experience of traveling with somebody, but being parallel to them and not speaking. At the stoplight, I smiled at her, then made my turn toward the half-life of work, past the placebo shops, lots of P's in here, and the beautiful park. There we go, park. Past the placebo shops. Stress, unstress, placebo, stress, unstress, shops. And the beautiful, unstress, right? And then we go to a stress here. Like, so we go regularize and then lengthen us out with the two unstresses. Beautiful park, white, like a smoke screen with snow. Smoke screen with snow, right? You get this stresses here, like so unstress, stress, and I'd say partial, partial stress for the screen with snow, unstress, stress, so you get like this stress pattern. She didn't follow, not in this bitch of a life, and I had so much to tell her before we die. It's this person on the highway you don't know that could have been a lover, could have been an enemy, one mistake away from love. As he says, about what I'd done all these years in between under and around. This is the weirdness of the under and around. It like plays off this deadness, the underworld, and around each other, being in the space between each other, or the space between the parallelness of conversations. I think most conversations happen that way. You're running parallel with the person you think you're in a conversation with, even close people to you. You're each in your own different world, as it is on the way to work, trying to figure out whether you're dead or not, trying to read the bumper stickers philosophically. This is a fun little poem. Interesting just to kind of walk through it and read it and have that experience and talk through it.